Luz y Progreso y Gracia a la Misericordia. This is Sancista Brujo Luis, and this is the first part in a two-part video series on the magical and spiritual uses of the Psalms. There's 150 Psalms, so I had to break down the video into two sections on how I use the Psalms. You can pause the video, take notes, or if you use the Psalms in different ways, leave a comment down below. You can use any book on Psalms that you choose. This is one that I've had for years. Okay, or you can use a Catholic Bible. I wouldn't really use the King James Version Bible, and because of certain reasons, but you can use a Catholic Bible. Okay, so this is the first part in the series of the magical and spiritual uses of the Psalms, and after you watch this, please go and search for the second part. Thank you.
Sí, progreso, gracias a la misericordia. This is Sancista Brujo Luis, and I've been wanting to do this video for some time on how I use the Psalms in my spiritual work. Now, you will often find people use the Psalms in traditions such as Hoodoo, Southern American Hoodoo, and Latin American Brujeria. And a lot of people who practice Espiritismo, they also use their Psalms in their spiritual working. Usually the Psalms are used with candles. So you can see one candle over here. I don't think you can see the candle over here. But, you know, there's 150 Psalms. So I'm just going to get into it right away because this is going to be a pretty long video. And I just want to show you how I use the Psalms, and I want to make sure that I don't get a glare in the video, but how I use the Psalms in my spiritual work, okay, in my trabajos espirituales. So Psalm number 1, which is right here, this one is good for spiritual strength, to overcome enemies, to remove oneself from dangerous confinements or dangerous situations. It's good for against premature deliveries, protection of pregnancies. It's good for avoiding miscarriages and harmful associations. And it's also good to protect you from attacks from animals. Psalm number 2, which starts down here, and it goes into here. Psalm number 2 is good for protection from storms. Okay, especially if you're traveling in storms, or protection of the home while within a storm. Okay, it's good to conquer enemies, to diminish the strength of an enemy, a cult enemy, or a rival, and to influence others. Psalm number 3 is to calm, which is right here, is to calm severe headaches, backaches, to remove curses or a hex, combat cross conditions, remove the evil eye, and freedom of worry. Psalm number 4, okay, and then it's in Roman numerals, but Psalm number 4 is good for good luck, for spiritual protection while asleep, against psychic attack, against envy, to remove tension, for a sound sleep, and for freedom from insomnia. Psalm number 5, which is right here, is good for fortune in business. It's also good to stop gossip and slander, to quiet a rival or an enemy, and against false accusations. Psalm number 6, which is right here. Psalm number 6 is good for all eye diseases or strains of the eye, to comfort sicknesses and illnesses, aiding in blood disorders or diseases, protection while asleep, for relief from pain and from exhaustion and fatigue. Psalm number 7, which is right here, is good. It's a defense against your enemies, for protection from bullies, against black magic, cross condition, occult enemies, sorcery, to uncross and remove hexes, to return black magic to its source or to occult enemies. Psalm number 8, where are you? I'm thinking this is Psalm number 8, which is right here. Psalm number 8 is for all matters all matters or problems at work or business, especially with rivalries from co-workers. It's good for binding enemies and to increase business affairs or problems with rivalry within the workspace or with other businesses around you. That's Psalm number 8 is good for that. Psalm number 9, which is right here. Psalm number 9 is good for restoration of a child's health, to cure impotency against the power, strength, or hold of an enemy, protection during court cases, and against injustice. Psalm number 10. Let me see where Psalm number 10 starts. Where are you? Well, that's Psalm number 11. So Psalm number 10 should be around here, and I can't find it. There it is. Psalm number 10 is good for protection against unclean spirits, against witches and necromancers, enchanters, against sorcery, against malignant forces and evil spirits. It's a good psalm to vanquish lower level and unclean, restless, trickster, and false spirits. Psalm number 11, which is right here, is good for to be safe from persecution, against fear, against violence in the home, domestic violence. It's also good to punish evil, combat those who wish to assault you. That is Psalm number 11. Psalm number 12, which is right here. Psalm number 12 is to be safe from persecution, for protection against slander, to stop gossip, dispel lies and false testimonies against you and against gossip. Psalm number 13, which is right here, is good for protection from violence and bodily harm, to banish inner doubt, for relief from depression and anxieties. Psalm number 14, which is right here. Psalm number 14 is in favor with all men. If you want to be in favor with a male companion, okay, this is a good psalm for that. It's also good for freedom from slander, to quiet an enemy, to make others not believe the false gossips or accusations or slanders that your enemies have against you. It's a good psalm, which is Psalm number 14, against wagging tongues or tongues that gossip about you. Psalm number 15, which is right here. Actually, that's 16. Sorry. Psalm number 15 is somewhere around here, and of course I can't find it. But anyway, Psalm number 15 is against the presence of evil spirits, insanity, melancholy, to find out the truth when you feel that someone is lying about you, against all forms of lies and falsehood. Psalm number 16, which is over here. I don't know why I couldn't find Psalm number 15, but Psalm number 16 is to transform sorrows into joy, enemies into friends. It's good for a sound sleep, for freedom from insomnia, to remove depression, to calm mental disorder, to change sorrow into joy. Psalm number 17, which I think that's it right there, is against those that spread lies about you or false testimonies and slander, so that others believe you over your enemies. Psalm number 18, I feel I'm going to get lost. This is Psalm number 18 right here. Okay, I have to remember my Roman numerals. But Psalm number 18 is against theft, for protection from danger. It suppresses evil, for spiritual strength, for courage and victory in all undertakings. It's also a good psalm for protection of the home. Psalm number 19. Where are you? Psalm number 19. I think Psalm number 18 is a pretty big one. So Psalm number 19, which is right here. Psalm number 19 is to assist you in dangerous delivery from a childbirth, for success in public speaking, for spiritual protection. It's also good for gambling and luck in games of chance. Psalm number 20, which is right here. Psalm number 20 is to free one from danger and suffering, freedom from any danger that you don't see coming or that you feel danger around you. This is a good psalm to recite to protect yourself and your belongings and everything, your aura. Psalm number 21 is to remove the evil eye or curses, return negativity to the sender or to its source. It's also a good psalm while traveling, especially within a boat or a ship, a cruise ship. And it's also a good psalm to recite for protection against storms. Psalm number 22. Where are you? Is that Psalm 22? Yeah, that's Psalm 22 right here. Is against misfortune, change bad luck to good luck, against all misfortune, and to remove bad luck. Psalm number 23, which we all know, Psalm number 23 is the Our Father of all Psalms. Okay, El Padre Nuestro de all the Psalms. It's one of the most important Psalms that we say. We recite it before most people recite it before all the Psalms, and it's a very protective Psalm. It creates a protective barrier around you. It's good to receive divine instructions within dreams, for peace of the mind, for cleansing and purification, for faith healing, for removing pains and diseases, aids in calming a person down during times of trials and tribulation, of great stress, blessing talismans, amulets, spiritual tools, for peace of the mind, control and conquer fear against psychic attacks. There's nothing that Psalm 23 can't do. It's the go-to psalm of all psalms. Psalm number 24, which is over here, is for protection from floods, opening the doors of opportunities and success. Psalm 25, which is right here. Psalm 25 is helping in breaking bad habits and against addiction. Psalm 26, where is Psalm 26? I feel like I'm going to get lost in a minute. Let me see. That is Psalm 26 right there. Sorry about that. Okay. So Psalm 26 is good. Danger while traveling, whether it be by land or by water. It's also good for protection against imprisonment. It's good when someone is falsely accusing you, to remove a companion that's negative, or to remove unloyal friends or an unloyal companion, to make a person realize how others treat them. So if someone is treated badly, this is the psalm, and they don't realize it, this is the psalm that you definitely want to recite, which is at Psalm 26. And anyone that degrades you, Psalm 26 is really good for that. Psalm 27, which is right here. Psalm 27 is for overcoming phobias. If you suffer any phobias, Psalm 27 is good for that. To go unnoticed, if you want to be unnoticed or unseen, by your enemies or in a crowd, you just want to be left alone. Psalm 27 is good for that. And it's kind of like an invisibility, to be invisible, to be unnoticed. You want to be in a place and you just want to be left alone. Psalm 27 is definitely good for that. Psalm 28, which is right here, is to reconcile with an enemy or with a friend that was a frenemy, a person that was once a friend is now an enemy. It is good for increasing harmony with your neighbors, within your home, your surroundings. It is good to make a curse or black magic impotent, to weaken those that deal with, the black arts or black magic, or to weaken the power or the hold of a victim who suffers black magic or anything of that nature. That psalm is definitely good for that. Psalm 29, which is right here. Psalm 29 is good to cast out evil spirits, for exorcism, for doll magic, doll talismans. If you're creating a doll, that's a good psalm to recite. It's good for offerings of libations, when you're offering water to your spirits. So this is especially one in nature. If you're in nature and you need some protection, Psalm 29 is definitely good for that. Psalm 30, which is right here. Psalm 30 is good for to be free from evil, for recovery from illnesses, spiritual protection, and faith healing. Psalm 31. Surprised I haven't got lost so far. Except for 15, I think I got lost. But Psalm 31, which is right here, is to escape slander, for relief from depression, for overcoming grief, escape from slander, psychic protection, and relief from stress or stressful situation or stressful individuals, persons, whatever. Anything that's stressful, that's a good psalm to recite. Psalm 32. Where's Psalm 32? Right here. Psalm 32 is for love, for mercy. It's also a good psalm for protection from drowning, a psalm of spiritual purification, cleansing. It's a psalm good used for herbal baths, or when you're fumigating the home with sacred herbs or sacred incense. Psalm 32 is definitely good for that. Psalm 33, which I think it's right. Yeah, that's right there. Psalm 33, it's all the way over here. Psalm 33 is for to protect a child from danger, for curing impotency, for work, for abundance, for luck in labor, and against all bone diseases, diseases of the bones, brittle bones. That's a good psalm to recite. Psalm 34 is against misfortune. Okay, this is against misfortune and protection from officials and like authorities. This is a good psalm, if you want to be protected from a police officer, I guess, or an authority, or someone at work who is of a higher position. This is a good psalm to recite. Psalm 35. I'm trying to do this as quick as possible. Remember, there's 150 psalms. Psalm 35 is for success in lawsuits, to curse or hex an enemy. Yes, Psalm 35 is good for cursing or hexing an enemy, to make someone move away or leave. And it's also good against vengeful people who are very vengeful. Psalm 35 is definitely good for that. Psalm 36 is against evil and slanderous individuals, for protection of your pets, to stop malicious gossip, and against black magic or sorcery. Psalm 37. Let me see, I'm going to start getting lost in a minute. Psalm 37, which I think this is it, and I have to push it. Yes, that's Psalm 37, is to overcome jealousy against drinking problems. If someone has a drinking problem or a bad habit, this is a good psalm to recite, and you light a candle for that person. To make enemies' powers impotent, to return evil back to the sender or to its source, help in healing broken limbs. It's a good psalm for those who suffer diabetes, cancer, any blood disorder such as HIV or AIDS. Just to help them heal along, and for all diseases. Psalm 30, I think this 37 is definitely good for that. 39, and I'm going to get lost in a minute. 39, I'm going to make sure. Yeah, I'm thinking that's 30. It looks like 38. But anyways, so Yes, that's 38. Okay, it's against curses, against evil spirits within the home. Okay, so anyone curses you or you want protection from evil spirits within the home, Psalm 38 is definitely the psalm that you want to recite for that. Psalm 39 is for guidance, okay, for spiritual guidance against violent relationships, against abusive relationships. Psalm 39 is good for that. Psalm 40, which is right here, is to free oneself from evil spirits, to overcome anxieties and depressions, for success in lawsuits. Okay, if you have a lawsuit that you want some success in, this is a definitely good psalm to recite against occult enemies. Okay, Psalm 40 is definitely good for that. Psalm 41, I think, is pretty much similar, which is, I don't know where Psalm 41 is. I'm going to get lost. Yeah, that's Psalm 41. Psalm 41 is against gossip, slander, evil eye, and evil intentions. Okay? It's against enemies that wish you ill luck or an ill fate. Psalm 41 is definitely good for that. And I'm going to start getting lost. Psalm 42 is for spiritual recharging, especially when you feel drained by others, against psychic vampires, for those who are empaths and are easily drained. Psalm 42 is definitely good for that. For spiritual prophecies, insights, visions, premonitions, especially through dreams and meditation. This is a definitely good psalm to recite for that. Psalm 43 is good for to get discharged from a hospital, or if you want someone to be discharged from a hospital quickly, or for healing very quickly. This is a good psalm to recite for spiritual help, assistance with difficult situations, finding an answer to any problem that you can't find an answer for. Psalm 43 is definitely good for that. Psalm 44, I think it's right there. Psalm 44 is to be safe from enemies, to cast off or vanquish and remove lower level spirits or lower level demons. Okay, especially lower trickster spirits or anything in the house that is bothersome. Psalm 44 is definitely good for that. Psalm 45, which I think is right here, is for blessing a family, unity, to make peace between a man and his wife, for marital harmony, for increasing, marriage, or for a marriage. You want to bless a marriage or a relationship. That's definitely the psalm you want to recite. Psalm 46, which is to tame ill-mannered family members, calm family disputes, disputes within siblings or family rivalry. Psalm 46 is definitely good for that. Psalm 47 is to be respected by your co-workers and your associates, your colleagues, to influence the authority or authorities, your boss, in your favor. If you want someone to influence someone that's in a higher position in your favor, Psalm 47 is definitely good for that. Psalm 48, where are you? Psalm 48. Let's say this is Psalm 48 is good for to stop enemies from harming you, for protection from burglaries or robberies. It's also good for cleansing and purifying the home, especially the doorways and the entrances of the home, against tension within family members or just tension in the home in general. Psalm 48 is good for that. Psalm 49, where are you? Psalm 49, I think I'm gonna get lost. Anyways, Psalm 49 is to combat envy or jealousy against vain people who talk or bad about you, for people who brag about their material possessions and people that just love to brag. This is a good psalm to recite. And anyone, if you want to protect your material belongings, this is definitely a good psalm to recite. Psalm 50, which I think this is Psalm 50, is against severe headaches or fevers. It's also good against robberies, combating ungrateful and unfair and unjustful people. It's also a good psalm for court cases and protection from incarceration. Okay, so Psalm 51, which is down here. Psalm 51 is a good psalm when you're burdened with heavy thoughts, when you're troubled and you need some peace and your mind is overcombobulated. This is a good psalm to recite. It's a good psalm for cleansing and purifying the material body, the mind, body, and soul, for meditation, which is Psalm 51. Psalm 52. Where's Psalm 52? Where are you? Psalm 52. I think that's right there. Psalm 52 is against slander, against incantations and enchantments, against witchcraft and sorcery and curses. Psalm 53, right here, making sure, yes, that's Psalm 53, is to combat black magic against occult enemies and witchcraft. Psalm 54, I'm going to try to remember my Psalms. Yeah, that's Psalm 54. It's against betrayal or violence, sending black magic or negative vibration to the source or to the sender. Psalm 55, which is right here. Psalm 55 is revenge against enemies or those who are wrongdoing. Those who do you wrong, to quiet an enemy and to break bad luck. Psalm 55 is good for that. Psalm 56, is that Psalm 56? Oh my God. I'm going to start getting lost in a minute. I think this is Psalm 56 is against those that plot against you, to free oneself from a love affair that is going nowhere. This is a good psalm to recite for that. To be noticed or popular or well accepted in a place that you're going to speak or you want to be noticed or accepted by your peers. Psalm 57 is against the wrath of an ex-lover, which is right here, is against the wrath of an ex-lover for protection from disasters or from those who wish you ill and want to hurt you or harm you in any way. Psalm 57 is good for that. Psalm 58, and I'm going to get lost. Psalm 58 is right here, is for protection from vicious animals, especially if you're camping. But it's also good for protection from dogs, especially if you have smaller dogs and you want to protect your little dogs. This is a good psalm to protect your animals, protect yourself from being attacked by a dog, to overcome fear of animals or phobias. It's also a good psalm for court cases, domestic assaults, to influence a judge in your favor against trials and false accusations and false testimonies done unto you. Psalm 59, which is right here, is to prevent over-possessiveness, people that are over-possessed with you, they don't give you a moment of freedom. It's against sinful passions or desires, against violence, protection from animals, return evil to its source. Psalm 60, which is right here, Psalm 60 is safety for soldiers or those who are, family members that are in combat, away, in armed services. So it's a good psalm for protection and safety of, family members who are soldiers or in armed forces, protection or healing in all forms of injuries whether it be physical, material, of the body and the flesh. You want them to be safe. Psalm 60 is definitely good for that. Sorry, I'm just getting mumbled by the psalm numbers over here. Psalm 61 is blessing a new dwelling, a new home. Bless and purify it, to cleanse it, to remove any negative vibrations or vibrations from the previous people who may have lived in that home. It's also good to recite Psalm 61 at the door against robberies, against accidents within the home, against jealousy. People who may be jealous of your belongings within your home or your possession. And it's also, Psalm 61 is also a good psalm against psychic attacks. Psalm 62, which is right here, is it's a good psalm for spiritual refuge, defense, protection, grounding against restless and intranquil spirits within the home or your surrounding, against a witch's curse which is placed on a family, against thieves and extortion. Okay, Psalm 63. And I'm going to get lost with finding Psalm 63, which is right here, against unfair business partners or unfair business anything that has to do with business or business partners, to overcome night terrors or fears, to make important decisions. Though, if you have a decision that you need to come up with an important an answer, or you need to be make a decision quickly, and the important one, 63, is definitely good for that. Psalm 64, which is right there. That's Psalm 64, yeah. Okay, sorry about that. But Psalm 64 is for voyages, to be protective while you're traveling. So it's definitely a good psalm, when you're traveling, to punish deceitful people, betrayal, strike down an enemy, those who wish you harm. Psalm 65, which is right here. Psalm 65 is for fortune or blessings in all undertakings, protection while traveling over air, water, or car, through land, sea, any form of travel. This is definitely a good psalm to recite. Okay, in all forms of protection, that's definitely a good psalm to recite. Psalm 66 is driving away or driving out evil spirits, calming the nerves or anxiety, against mind control from those who try to control your mind, or those who make decisions for you, against mental abuse, against psychic vampires, psychic self-defense, protection for those who are empaths. Psalm 66 is definitely good for that one. Psalm 67, I'm going to push it back a little bit. Psalm 67, where are you? I think this is Psalm 67, is to bless a union, a love affair, a marriage. So if someone's going to get married, Psalm 67 is definitely good for that. Psalm 68, which is right here, is to vanquish and remove evil and malignant forces from around a person, a place, a thing, a home, or a property, against evil spirits that cause illnesses or drain your energy. Psalm 68 is definitely good for that. Psalm 69 is for protection of the home from floods, from fires, from drowning, from natural disasters or disasters caused by the elements of your property or your home, for safety from drowning. Okay, so Psalm 69 is definitely good for that. Psalm 70, which is right here. Psalm 70 is to weaken and confuse a rival or an enemy, to remove someone who is after your partner or your lover or someone that you love, and this person is trying to take your husband or your wife. Psalm 70 is definitely good for that, to weaken their influence on a partner or a lover or a wife or a husband. Psalm 70, Psalm 70? No, I'm Psalm 71. And Psalm 71 is against slander, gossip, and vicious rumor. Okay, it's also a psalm to be free from prison or incarceration. Psalm 72, which is right here. I'm making sure I'm actually not, I don't even know where I'm at anymore. But anyway, Psalm 72, let's pretend this is Psalm 72, is against court battles and court cases. Okay, anything that you want in your favor, Psalm 72 is definitely good for that.